fantastic fall evening in Glen Burnie, Maryland means we are back with Ballroom Boxing. Hi, everybody. I'm Larry Michael. Great to be back with Jon Saraceno. Jon, this is our 24th show in the 5 years we've been doing Ballroom Boxing. It has grown to be the biggest type show in the nation. Do you believe this is happening?
Not only that, we're expanding. We went to Harrisburg recently, maybe Ohio early next year. The show is getting bigger and better, and let's see what happens tonight.
We'll see what happens in our main event. Jermaine Fields puts a world ranking, a possible world ranking, and an unbeaten record on the line tonight. A lot of pressure on Jermaine Fields.
The last time we saw him here, he got a big scare. He rebounded very well on ESPN against Julian Wheeler, fought a great fight. He's got to follow that up again tonight, Larry.
Great to be back with you tonight as we get set to rumble here with Ballroom Boxing, our first fight in the ring. When we return, don't go away. Ballroom Boxing is brought to you by Toyota every day, by Budweiser, the king of beers, by Geico. 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on your car insurance, by LastMinuteTravel.com, by 0to80.com, and by WhatANetwork.com. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. You know, we joke about the consistent, competitive nature of the fights, but coming back to Michael's, just coming back to like your old home. The folks are friendly, and the boxing, predictably, is exciting.
Larry, it always gets better and better. 23rd show together. Let's hope we get to 24.
I'm looking for a divorce from Jon Saraceno. Lawyers can call me here at Michael's. Pat O'Malley is in the ring with our next fight.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission, Chairman Carl A. Milligan Jr., Executive Director Patrick Pinella, and Ballroom Boxing of Michael's 8th Avenue, Glen Burnie, Maryland, promoters Scott Wagner and matchmaker Josh Hall present this 6-round bout in the cruiserweight division. Your referee in charge will be Gary Camponeschi. Judging the bout, John GRADOWSKI, Bill Holmes, and Malik WALEED. Introducing the Warriors. Out of the red corner, wearing the blue trunks with gold, weighing 180 pounds, he is from Holyoke, Massachusetts, with a record of 8, 15-4, 3 via the KO. Please welcome Darren Double Impact Whitley. Out of the blue corner to my right, wearing the black trunks trimmed with white, weighing 187.25 pounds. He is from Fort Washington, Maryland, with a record of 8-4, 7 via the KO. Please welcome King George Holder.
King George Holder looking for a crown. Jon Saraceno looking at the matchup.
And we know why we call him King George. 6'2", weighed in 187.25. Significant weight and reach advantage over Darren double-packed Whitley. Let's see if Whitley can make up the difference.
Whitley from the Fighting Whitley family. Patrick Pinella, any kin to Lou Pinella?
Does he spell it the same way? I don't think he has 2 eyes. No. You're joshing me again.
We're ready for this light heavyweight matchup between George Holder in the black trunks and Darren Whitley in the blue trunks with the gold trim. Now, we've seen Darren Whitley before, Jon. Of course, we've seen his brother Derrick Whitley as well.
One doctor out here. MALIK is not a ringside either. I got one.
There is a holdup as Gary Camponeschi is looking for the extra doctor. Round 1 brought to you by BallroomBoxing.com.
Is there a doctor in the house? Is there a doctor
There's
in the
more
house?
than one.
Well, we've seen Darren Whitley, not Derrick Whitley, many times. Unfortunately, I don't think we've seen him win yet. He's dropped his last 7. And his last victory coming in April of 1999. He had a draw in there also. Correct that. His last fight, Boyer Chew.
Yeah, he chewed him up. He chewed him up. Darren Whitley of the Fighting Whitley family. And looking at Darren Whitley, he looks like he's packing a few more pounds than we normally see on Darren Whitley.
Must have swallowed whatever he chewed up. Well, Whitley, a seasoned fighter.
Nice straight jab by George Holder. good matchup of styles here. Whitley's trying to get inside of the jab of Holder. Holder using that jab to its maximum efficiency.
George Holder has an interesting record, Larry. He's 8-0 in the state of Virginia, and he's 0-4 in the rest of the USA.
Well, he's fighting out of Maryland tonight, so let's see if he can break that streak against Darren Whitley.
Now, Holder's never been past the 4th round either.
This fight is scheduled for 6.
Yeah, so we're going to have to watch that.
Last time after George Holder, TKO by Don Constantino in Rhode Island in the 3rd round. So he has tasted the canvas. Whitley moving forward, but really not punching going forward, John.
Well, he's having a hard time getting inside that long jab of Holder. Holder's putting his punches together very nicely in the early going. Tell you what, though, he better bring that left hand back up to his chin a little bit quicker on the jab. He's really exposing himself there for a counter. Very lethargic, bringing it back.
Coming into this fight, Whitley has sporting some swelling around both eyes, obviously from gym work. Whitley going to the body. I mean, he's aiming at that midsection of George Holder. Ballroom decorated for the holidays beautifully here by Mike and Scott Wagner, our promoters, as always, for Ballroom Boxing. Darren Whitley tasting the right and the left of George Holder.
Yeah, it's really starting with the jab. He's getting tore up with that. And the right hand's following.
Holder with the left again and tying up Whitley as round 1 comes to a close. We'll be back with more from the Ballroom here in Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie. Don't go away. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Tonight, Ballroom Boxing brought to you by Toyota. Thanks to the good folks at Toyota for helping us bring the Ballroom Boxing Series coast to coast. In fact, sellout crowd tonight here at Michael's 8th Avenue, the largest crowd in the history of this venue.
We've got well over 1,500 people packed in this joint. I don't like the blue horizon tonight, except for we don't have the balcony.
Right. You know, John, we mentioned in the opening how far this thing has come, and really the strength, as we used to call the hallmark of Ballroom Boxing, are the tough guys in the ring. The matchups are so tight. Here we see another good matchup. Darren Whitley and George Holder, 2 light heavyweights. Holder with the jab, Whitley the bull, trying to get inside. It's a classic boxer-brawler confrontation.
Well, the series has come a long way, and that's due in no small part to the hard work of promoter Scott Wagner, who is one of the young, engaging fight promoters in this country. And I dare say, we've talked about this many times, even off the air, that this is probably pound for pound, or maybe ticket for ticket, the best club series in the country.
Certainly it's been going for 5-6 years for us now, and the fights continue to be good. We have a little smattering in there of some real strong, legit fighters. We have the up-and-comers, we have the journeymen, a little bit of everything for everyone.
And the ultimate test for a club show, and a lot of fight promoters go broke all around the country. Some will try it 1 or 2 times, they're out of business. Some will do it once. They'll say, wow, this isn't as easy as I thought it was, is to keep selling tickets. And that's how consistent this series has been. This place is always packed.
Fight right now beginning to swing a little bit towards Darren Whitley, who decided in round 2 to go to the jab and counter the jab of George Holder. And he's really taken Holder's jab away, John. Holder not jabbing anymore. Whitley took it to him early in this round with the jab.
Oh, Holder looks like he's trying to vary him with that jab to sneak in that uppercut. Threw it from a long distance there. Dangerous move.
One thing about the Whitleys is they're conditioned for the long haul. They carry their power to the late rounds. This fight only scheduled for 6. You see kind of Holder getting a little weaker here in round 2 already.
Well, when you talk about power, Darren Whitley, not the biggest puncher, only 3 knockouts in his career, 27 fights. Even though he's built like a brick house, that doesn't always translate into natural power. Most punching power is natural.
Holder with the overhand right, trying to score here in round 2.
Well, Holder is still on his bike, using his boxing ability from the outside, but now Whitley's starting to catch him a little bit with the jab.
Whitley turning up the heat. Good stiff jab again by Whitley. It makes Holder miss as round 2 comes to a close. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing, brought to you by Budweiser. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. As always, our third man outside the ring is Jon Scheinman. Your scorecard, Jon, through 2.
19-19 after 2 rounds all even. On the 10-point must system, I gave the first to Holder and the second to Whitley. I liked Whitley's strategy coming out there for the second round. Jabbing a jabber is always a good strategy to slow down a guy's rhythm and take him out of his rhythm. And also I felt that Holder was showing a little signs of fatigue there at the end of the second round. Maybe he didn't do enough road work for this fight. I feel like Whitley's beginning to take control here.
I thought so too, Jon. What do you think, Jon Saraceno, through 2? What's your scorecard?
Well, this is going to get dangerous again for us tonight. Once again, I agree with Jon. We got 19-19, scored the first 2 rounds exactly the same.
There's something wrong. I guess the tuxedos have caused you guys to have some kind of camaraderie that you didn't have before. No comment, eh, Scheinman?
I love that man. That's all I can tell you. It's a love-in as we head toward the holidays here.
Darren Whitley again going to the jab, and of course his father is in his corner. Good body work by George Holder to counter.
Well, he's setting down on his punches better as he did in the first round. The second round, he was more worried about retreating and being a fancy Dan.
You see George Holder breathing heavily, and Whitley just shook it off. So
you can't set down on your punches, Larry, when you're moving around constantly.
Whitley powering back with some powerful shots and scores with a right.
Well, that's because Holder's backing up with his hands down.
Another jab by Whitley.
Holder getting very careless here.
Hey, this is what it's all about, Jon. Both guys have their moments. A very, very close fight thus far. Ripping body shot by Darren Whitley with the right hand. Another right hand by Whitley. Now Whitley doesn't want to be up against the ropes. Now Holder's saying no. He eats a left jab from Whitley.
Well, Whitley's jab has gotten a lot better.
Both of these guys have been shaking their heads no and getting hit. We usually know that that means yes.
Break clean. Step back.
Very good matchup here, Jon. Both guys have aggressive moments. It's tough to say who's the most aggressive. Oh, big right hand by Whitley has hurt Holder. That's easy to say what's going on now.
I'm a little surprised, even though Whitley's landing those bombs on Holder, he doesn't go to the body a little bit more and slow down that movement, but he's throwing haymakers and they're landing. And it's really starting off with that little short jab.
Whitley trying to size up the right hand. Big round for Darren Whitley, the third. Here at Michael's 8th Avenue. Holder misses with the right. We'll be back in a moment. Back to Michael's 8th Avenue, a very, very competitive light heavyweight battle between George Holder and Darren Whitley. Larry Michael, Jon Saraceno, and Jon Scheinman. Round 4 brought to you by Geico Auto Insurance. And the jabs have been a key for both fighters thus far. Darren Whitley in the blue trunks with the gold trim. George Holder in the black trunks with the white stripe.
Well, Holder's come out in this round like he did the first round. That is using the left hand a lot more. He may have gotten overconfident, Larry, after that good first round. We got Whitley winning the last 2 and starting to take command of this fight. Let's see if Holder can turn it around here in the 4th.
Whitley began using the jab after eating a jab in the first round. Came back around in the second and the third round and took the tempo of the fight with a jab of his own.
I'd still like to see Whitley come up underneath and go to the body and try to slow Holder down. He's done a very good job the last 2 rounds, Whitley, holding his own with the jab, setting up those big right hands.
Well, Whitley's left hand is beating Holder to the punch every single time.
That's because Holder's really about a beat and a half slower than Whitley, and that's why he got hit with a lot of those shots.
Whitley very powerfully built, as you can see in the blue trunks. Holder isn't exactly a slouch.
Holder, for being the boxer and mover that he is, doesn't have exceptional hand speed.
He did in the first round, but he has slowed down. Not exceptional hand speed, but he has certainly slowed down. And he has been on the retreat here in round 4.
He already looks arm weary a little bit at times.
Look at that punch right there with the left hand. Slapping punches by Holder. He's trying to hold on.
He knows he's fighting an uphill battle right now.
Whitley, though, needs to stay busy or Holder will steal around from him.
Well, Holder's throwing a lot of shots here, Larry. He's come out very busy in his 4th round. And when he punches and he keeps that jab going, Whitley's on the outside and has a hard time getting in, but Whitley's doing some good body work there underneath.
Good battle of strategies in this fight.
Whitley just needs a little more head.
Oh, a right hand right down the pipe. And Holder is holding.
Whitley's walking Holder down and just coming straight in. He's not even using head movement, Whitley. He's just walking straight in and unloading.
Another big right by Whitley. And another big right by Whitley.
Whitley had a little more side-to-side movement. He could really set him up with some feints.
I mean, he just eats another jab. Holder has been right on the end of Whitley's jab since the 2nd round.
Well,
big right counter by Holder.
You see Holder doing what a lot of fighters have done the last 15 years, almost, I don't want to say copying a Tommy Hearns, but carrying their left hand very low, very detrimental.
Great fight, light heavyweights. We'll be back to Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. You're watching Ballroom Boxing. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. Ballroom Boxing brought to you by Clear Channel. Jon Scheinman is with us as well. Very entertaining light heavyweight fight. Through 4 rounds, Jon Scheinman, how do you have it scored?
I have Whitley widening his margin here. He's up 39-37 on my unofficial card. You know, I thought Holder had begun to right himself at the first minute and a half of that past round, but Whitley definitely landed some superior power shots that I had to give him the round because of them.
Big right hand by Darren Whitley, right over the left of Holder. Sorry, Jon Scheinman.
No problem. And Holder landed a big shot himself at the end of the round. I think the man in this fight who lands the biggest power shots from here on out is going to win the fight because both guys back off when they get hit hard.
Good point by Scheinman. What do you think, Jon Saraceno?
Well, the power shots for Whitley have made the difference in the fight. There's no doubt about it. Holder is a fairly skilled boxer. I mean, he's a decent boxer in terms of skills. He doesn't have the hand speed nor the power, I think, to keep Whitley off of him.
Holder is fatigued. You can see his arms down by his side. Really nothing behind the punches. In the first round, he had some snap, but the snap has been sapped.
Interesting, too. Whitley, 3 knockouts in his career. Looks like he's a better puncher than apparently he is.
Pretty large swelling now over the left eye of Darren Whitley. Uppercut attempt there by Holder, whose arsenal has dwindled as this fight has moved on.
Well, Holder either has a better chin than maybe we think, or Whitley's power is not what
big right hand
some people think it is. Right.
Like you say, John, Whitley has only 3 knockouts to his credit. The guy's been fighting since 1995. He is 8-15-4, 4 draws, just 3 knockouts. Last knockout came back in April of 1999.
A very active fighter.
Holder just running right now. Really has tasted the power of Whitley.
Holder's only going to get in more trouble running like that.
All right, stop punching, break.
Really not getting any respect from his offense.
Well, Holder's not moving his head either. He's standing erect. He's right in front of Whitley, with the exception of a little bit of the lateral movement. His head's too stationary. I mean, we see a lot of fighters. I guess they're not learning the fundamentals in the gym. You know, maybe training's a lost art.
Look at Holder's in deep trouble, John. He's huffing and puffing. He's holding on right now.
So many fighters nowadays just abandon the fundamentals, or they never learned them from Jump Street.
Good body work there by Holder. His best flurry of the last couple of rounds right there to the body of Darren Whitley.
Well, Whitley's just applied constant pressure. He has not allowed Holder to even breathe in this fight, and that is really wearing on Holder.
Darren Whitley has been gaining confidence since the 2nd round, leading this fight with 3 minutes to go. We'll be back. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Action from round 5 moments ago. Darren Whitley putting some heat. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Round 6 underway. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. 3 minutes to go in this very tight light heavyweight battle. Or is it tight? What do you think, Jon Scheinman?
No, I don't think it's tight at all. I have Whitley running the table since losing the first round. He's up 49-46 on my card. You know, George Holder started this fight off like he was going to just box Darren Whitley's ears off with that left jab, but I think his conditioning really told in this fight. He wasn't up to the pace of the battle that Whitley brought, and I just got Whitley comfortably ahead here.
What do you think, Jon Saraceno? Is Mr. Scheinman on track with that?
Right on the mark, 49-46.
More the same. I think the turning point came in the second round when Whitley took the jab and put it right in the lips of George Holder, and that took Holder's jab away, and it's been a different fight since then.
That's exactly what happened.
Good body work by Darren Whitley.
Break, please. Step back. Step back.
Darren Whitley from Massachusetts has become, his family has become a mainstay here over the last few cards here at Michael's 8th Avenue. Last time out, brother Derrick Whitley in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, with a very impressive performance.
This will probably come to no surprise to anybody, but Darren Whitley's favorite fighter is
His brother.
Derrick Whitley.
I wonder who Derrick Whitley's favorite fighter is.
I know the answer to that.
You do?
Darren Whitley.
Is it really?
Yeah.
You see these guys, it's hard to pick them apart. It's been Whitley, Darren Whitley, picking apart George Holder in this light heavyweight battle of 6 rounds.
In case anybody's interested, Holder's a Larry Holmes fan. Larry, whoa, what a right hand by Whitley.
Whitley's not going to leave
Another
this
one,
to
Larry.
the judges. Big time right hand by Whitley again, and Holder holds.
Those kind of bombs that Whitley's detonating tells you he's just not a natural puncher. I mean, he's hitting him flush, and Holder's not going anywhere.
Is it the chin or is it the punch? George Holder has been knocked out twice.
Yeah, I think it's the punch.
Actually, he's been knocked out 4 times. All of his losses have come by knockout.
Whitley's an accurate and a sharp puncher. He's just not a thudding puncher.
Whitley really wants to close the show here with the bang, though, and the bang has been off the chin of George Holder here in the 6th and final round.
On the other hand, when you got a guy moving as fast as Holder is, it's pretty hard to knock him out.
Good performance by Darren Whitley.
And you know what? Let's give it to Holder. He didn't quit. He knew he was falling behind, and he tasted a lot of power tonight from Whitley. Hung in there tough.
The end of round 6, the end of this fight, Darren Whitley and George Holder. All right, we'll be back with the decision as Darren Whitley and George Holder go the distance. We'll be back in a moment. Pretty tough fight, Darren Whitley and George Holder. Action from round 6 moments ago. George Holder out of gas. Darren Whitley took it all the way through the 6th round, John. What's your prediction on how this score will come out?
Well, I think it's an easy decision for Whitley, at least by 4 points.
Let's see if Jon Saraceno is right from Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Judge Holmes scores it 59-55. Judge GRADOWSKI scores it 58-56. And Judge WALEED scores it 59-55. And the winner by unanimous decision, double impact Whitley!
Really no surprise. Darren Whitley taking the fight to George Holder and taking a victory. Darren Whitley runs his record to 9-15-4. A real impressive performance as he worked over George Holder.
One thing I like about Derrick Whitley, in fact, I love it, is if he's got a losing record, but double impact comes to fight and gives his all. And if a lot more professional fighters did the same, we'd have better boxing.
So Darren Whitley is the winner. Jon Scheinman is standing by with Darren.
Second round, you came out jabbing a jabber, and you seemed to take the control of the fight right there. Was that what the instructions were in the corner?
Yeah, after the first round, I wanted to feel him out, and he had decent power, so I wanted to be careful and not, overjudge him or anything like that. And he had a decent left and a decent right. So I had to figure out the first round. So after the second round, I figured I could just move a little bit more because when I started moving, he couldn't touch me,
Now, in the later rounds of the fight, you really began to land the right hands on him. Does it frustrate you when you take control of a bout that you're not knocking guys out?
No, not really, because I don't really try to go for the knockout. If the knockout comes, and it comes. But I mean, I just try to stay busy, throw my right. But sometimes these taller guys, it's hard for me to get my right in, and then they come up with their right because I'm short, you know?
Well, you're definitely known for your conditioning, so it doesn't matter either way. You're going
Right.
to the end. Darren Whitley gets a really good win here in the ballroom. Let's go back to ringside.
All right, thank you very much, John Scheinman. You know, Scott Wagner promised us a great fight, and he delivered as usual.
He's been delivering. He's better than the mailman.
We'll have more ballroom boxing coming up. Don't go away. Welcome back to the ballroom. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. We get to see the raging Cajun Cliff Richard in his pro debut. Comes with a lot of talk and a lot of confidence. Will he deliver?
And also one phrase, Semper Fidelis. He's a Marine.
We'll see if he marches out with the championship or at least a victory tonight here in the ballroom. Let's go to Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission, Chairman Carl N. Milligan Jr., Executive Director Patrick Pinella, and Ballroom Boxing on Michael's 8th Avenue, Glen Burnie, Maryland, promoters Scott Wagner and matchmaker Josh Hall present this 4-round bout in the welterweight division. Your referee in charge is John GRADOWSKI. The judges, Gary Campaneschi, Kenny Chevalier, and Don Risher. Introducing the boxers. First to my left, out of the red corner, wearing the red trunks with white and some black on them, weighing 147 pounds, he is from Laurel, Maryland, making his professional debut. Please welcome Cliff, the Raging Cajun Richard. Out of the blue corner, wearing the red trunks with blue, weighing 146¼ pounds, from New Brunswick, New Jersey, via Medico, with a record of 2-1-1, 2 via the KO. Please welcome Julian, the Fury of La Esperanza, Fuentes.
Fuentes and the raging Cajun Richard. Let's take a look at the matchup, John.
Fury of La Esperanza. How are they going to fit that on his trunks? Anyway, Julian Fuentes, 5'6", a little bit of a height disadvantage against Cliff Richard, the Raging Cajun. Let's see if he can make up the difference, Larry.
It's our pleasure to welcome ringside one of the fine young women boxers out there, Israh Gingrah. Israh, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good to see you. When was your most recent fight?
I fought in Harrisburg on the October, I think it was the 19th.
We were there.
Yeah,
We were
I
there.
heard you're commentating too.
All right. Did we do a good job for you? Do you right?
The uncut version.
Oh, no. Oh, good. All right. Well, you know where we really stand.
This is a family show now.
Yes,
Take it easy.
I know it is. I know it is.
Well, Israh is very attractive, I might say, to the viewers out there who cannot see her or didn't see our last fight in Harrisburg.
Thank you.
So, Israh, you see these guys in the ring. You got a kid in here, the Raging Cajun, the southpaw. It's his pro debut. You think he's got some butterflies?
Probably. Yeah, if he doesn't, then something's wrong.
He's not prepared then.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, to a guy who fights out of Mexico, you know, they're most of where you get all the good boxers from.
Yeah. What is on the agenda for you down the road? Because as we saw last time in Harrisburg, you got a lot of skills.
Oh, yeah, I took a break for a while, but, you know, I'm back now. My next fight will be in January, the 12th of January. It's going to be a UBA title against, I think the opponent will be Sue Millett.
All right, we look forward to seeing that. See you in the winner's circle.
In relation to Ron Millett from St. Louis? No. Where's she from?
I think she's from Ohio.
Yeah. It's different Millett.
Yeah.
Raging Cajun, Cliff Richard in the red trunks with a white trim with the huge tattoo across his back. Good way to ID him. Going against the Fury of La Esperanza, Julian Fuentes. We've seen him in the ballroom before. Now, Israh, when people find out that you are a boxer, I would have to think they are surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of surprised reactions, and they really don't believe me. You know, they say, no, you're joking, aren't you? No.
They're really surprised when she drops him with a left hook.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
You better not say the wrong thing. Good left hand there.
Yeah, they also want to, you know, test me. Come on, put your cheeks up. Let me see. No, I can't do that. I might get sued.
Israh, what about the state of women's boxing? How is it going to get to the next level in terms of skill?
I think that there are a lot of skilled women in boxing. They just haven't been shown on TV or put out there as far as, you know, television is concerned. There's a bunch of women that have excellent skills, and you know, the only people that we see is Christy Martin and Mia St. John and Layla Ali now, and really they don't have the skills that we all have that when we started, when it first, you know, started women's boxing.
Flash of heads there caused Fuentes to have a split lip, bottom lip, a little blood there. Now, how do you keep your nails so nice? I mean, that might sound like a sexist thing, but I mean, well, look at this. And she's a boxer.
Well, you know, you have to, I'm a female too, so, you know, I try to keep it up.
Larry, I notice your cuticles are quite manicured today.
Larry Michael, Jon Saraceno joined ringside by Israh Gingrah, up and coming women's boxer. We'll be back with more from the ballroom in a moment. Larry Michael, Jon Saraceno, and Israh Gingrah, women's boxing star, up and coming. We saw her in the Ballroom Boxing Series in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and you were victorious, right?
Yes, it was an excellent fight. It was a very good opponent, and I went the distance, but I got the best of her.
We'll see her again in the future. In the ring right now, it's the Raging Cajun, Cliff Richard, going against the Fury of La Esperanza. Where is La Esperanza, John?
I don't even know how to spell it.
John Scheinman with us as well, as we have more talent here than we've ever had. John, what was your score in round one?
Both guys look pretty amateurish. You can definitely see that they're young fighters and just getting going in their careers. But Richard pressed the action, and he got the jab home a little bit, and by a slim margin, I gave him a 10-9 round.
Ballroom Boxing round two here at Michael's 8th Avenue, brought to you by Toyota. Israh, do you ever spar against men?
All the time. That's all I spar with.
Really?
Yeah.
Same weight class as yourself?
No, I think the most that I've ever sparred with was a middleweight or super middleweight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Fuentes is just ripping away to the body here, Larry, against Richard. He is really taking Richard's game plan away, which is to try to box from the outside.
Richard, as we mentioned, fresh out of the U.S. Marine Corps.
They let you have those tattoos in the Marine Corps? I could just imagine a sergeant about a millimeter from his nose screaming at him about, where'd you get all that ink, son?
It's 2 boxing gloves.
Isn't that where they first start getting tattoos in the military?
Jon Saraceno, of course, his tattoos came outside of the military.
You could tell by looking at me, I've never been near a military base.
Big left hand by the Raging Cajun. Body shot by Richard. Fuentes started out quick with the body attack, and the Raging Cajun has kind of turned the tide, but he eats the jab from Fuentes. Did you have a big amateur career? Did you fight much in the amateur ranks?
No, actually I went straight to pro. I didn't have any amateur experience at all. At that time there was really no amateurs, you know, as far as females are concerned in the sport.
Nice right hand by the Raging Cajuns. Why did you get into boxing?
Well, my first idea was to stay in shape, and you know, it was an excellent way to stay in shape. I was always an athlete, but I just fell in love with it.
Got a cut on the left eye of Richard.
And he scores with the left hand.
As Fuentes continues to press the action. This is one of those wars in a phone booth kind of a fight.
Little forearm in there by the Raging Cajun.
Yeah, there's a lot of dirty stuff going on the inside.
My last fight I fought against a southpaw also, and I didn't find out until the first round that she was a southpaw, but Fuentes doesn't seem like he's taking advantage of moving to his left at all, and he's absorbing a lot of those left hands.
Good point.
Israh Gingrah filling in for Jon Saraceno here.
He's going to take my job in 5 minutes here. You look better in a tuxedo, too.
Exchange of punches as round two comes to a close, and Fuentes wobbles to his corner. We'll be back. Welcome back. Action from round two. At the end of round two, Fuentes got wobbled by the Raging Cajun, Cliff Richard. Round three brought to you by Budweiser. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno, also with us here at ringside. Women's boxing star Israh Gingrah, who we saw recently in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. She was victorious.
Right now, the Cajuns got a raging cut under that left eye, but really it's no harm, and they got it closed up very well between rounds.
A lot of blood from his mouth as well, John. Have you ever been in the position in the ring, Israh, where you were bleeding?
No, well, actually, when I fought Christy Martin, my nose was bleeding a lot during that fight.
Looked like a low blow there by Fuentes. Referee said nothing.
Kind of shook the Raging Cajun up. You could see him, kind of stopped him in his tracks, and a lot of blood from his mouth right now.
Cliff Richard is one tough guy. He has taken a beating through the first 2 rounds. He's managed to get off some good shots himself, but blood from his mouth, cut under his left eye, and continues to try to make it a fight.
Continues to move forward.
I see why you have those rolling chairs.
You back away. You never know. The front row can be colorful.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this venue here, the Ballroom. All the fans are close to the action. It really increases the excitement for us as well.
It definitely does.
You not only get beer stains, you get blood stains.
Don't forget the sweat. Infighting there is the Raging Cajun trying to do some damage with an uppercut.
Blood just pouring from the mouth of Cliff Richard, and we just got it ringside.
You get splattered, didn't we, John?
Judge Gary Campanishi just wiping his face off.
Oh, I think he might be hurt. I think they're looking maybe at a jaw problem as the doctor goes up on ringside. The Raging Cajun, Cliff Richard, in some trouble, says he wants to continue.
He may have a broken jaw.
He might. Another doctor from across the ring comes in. It's a stiff right hand by Julian Fuentes. And the referee stopped the action immediately as they get a good look at Cliff Richard. It's a tough situation right now. I think they're contemplating a stoppage of this action. Would not be surprised right now if this fight were stopped because of an injury to the jaw. And if you could take a look at it there, it doesn't look good. A lot of swelling already on the jaw of Cliff Richard.
That sucker's broken.
Yeah, he does not look good.
Surprised he can't even open his mouth.
You know, I think we're going to thank you, Israh. Thank you for stopping by as this fight unfolds. We appreciate you making the appearance, and best of luck in your next fight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great fighter, and you're a good commentator as well.
Oh, well, thank you. Anytime you need a fill-in, you know, I'll be available.
I'll knock him off soon. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Be back quick.
He's getting ready to move me out as soon as you leave.
Well, I thank you for having me here. I appreciate it, and look out for my next fight. It'll be on the 12th of January.
We look forward to it. Israh Gingrah, keep your eye on her as she climbs the ladder.
Thank you.
Thank you, Israh. And in the ring right now, gotta believe this fight is gonna be stopped. It is. It was the right hand. I believe the jaw of Cliff Richard has been broken.
Now Richard making his pro debut, and there you see the winner of the fight, Julian Fuentes. Now goes to 3-1-1 with 3 knockouts. The fight was stopped in the 3rd round. You know what? I'm not sure if Fuentes wasn't behind in the fight when it was stopped.
In any event, Julian Fuentes, the Fury of La Esperanza, is the winner tonight. We'll be back with more after this. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael along with Jon Saraceno. And here is how he did it. The right hand, John.
Watch him throw this right in. He feints right down the pipe. Boom, right on the button.
Good move by the referee to step in immediately and put a stop to the action. Let's get the official time from Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by TKO at 148 of round 3, Julian the Fury of La Esperanza Fuentes.
The Fury of La Esperanza. We got to look it up. Where is La Esperanza? Must be in Mexico, I'd have to guess. But he scored with the right hand.
We're going to see that right hand again. There he is in the corner, Fuentes. A little bit of a shoulder dip.
Oh, that was a beautiful punch, and it did not knock the Raging Cajun out, but it did damage his jaw enough for the doctors here at ringside at Michael's 8th Avenue to call a halt to the action. Exciting bout. Big right hand by Fuentes.
That was some shot.
A tough break on the chin of Cliff Richard. With us, Kenny Singleton, former O. He's here to talk boxing, and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno, along with one of the all-time Baltimore Orioles, Kenny Singleton. Of course, Kenny, you played for some other teams as well. You're a broadcaster for the Yankees right now. You got a pretty good reception here, though, from the Oriole fans.
Yeah, well, once they mentioned the name Yankees, though, Larry, things went in the other direction. I think that's the most hated name in this area, the New York Yankees. But I've been with them for 4 years doing their games on MSG Network. And of the 4 years I've been there, they won the World Championship the last 3 years. So I've enjoyed it.
You get a ring, too?
I got one. George, it's up to George, whatever he wants to do. He gave us 1 year. The next year he didn't give them out. So I don't know. Maybe you're getting too expensive.
All right, we're going to keep Kenny around for a couple rounds, talk some boxing, and see what he's up to. Let's go to the ring right now and Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Maryland State Athletic Commission, Chairman Carl N. Milligan Jr., Executive Director Patrick Pinella, and Ballroom Boxing of Michael's 8th Avenue, Glen Burnie, Maryland. Promoters Scott Wagner and matchmaker Josh Hall present this 6-round bout in the super middleweight division. The referee in charge is Bill Holmes. The judges, John GRADOWSKI, Don Risher, and Malik WALEED. Introducing the boxers. Out of the red corner, wearing the dark trunks with gold, weighing 168 pounds, from Holyoke, Massachusetts, with a record of 12-14, 5 via the KO. Please welcome Derrick Double Impact Whitley. To my right, out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with gold, weighing 161.5 pounds, from Richmond, Virginia, with a record of 14-12-1, 8 by knockout. Please welcome Napoleon Quick Pitt.
Napoleon Pitt and Derrick Whitley. Jon Saraceno, what's the matchup look like?
Another double shot of double impact with Derrick Whitley. You see the height advantage. Derrick Whitley only 5'8", Napoleon 6'1". That reach advantage for Pitt could be key, Larry.
Ken Singleton, are you a boxing fan?
I usually check out the major fights, and this is the first time I've been here at this arena. I've enjoyed it. They've treated us very well. A former teammate of mine, Al Bumbry, asked me to come out tonight, and I've enjoyed it.
Scott Wagner does a great job. They pack it in here, and they always take care of the former Baltimore athletes. It's a constant stream of celebrities through here. We appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you, Larry.
Now, Derrick Whitley has been on a little bit of a roll. He's had a kind of a roller coaster career, but he's put together a string of 5 straight wins, John. Done most of them here in the Ballroom. What's his strength?
Well, you see his style, much like his brother. He tries to come in, force the action on the inside, get off his shots, combination style. And you see he's a southpaw, so you know that Pitt's got his work cut out for him.
Let him go, let him go.
Good holding on now to Derrick Whitley. Derrick Whitley, as we said, has been on a pretty good roll. Beat Bawa last time up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We witnessed that fight. He dominated that one.
Very good in that fight.
I understand his record is somewhat misleading. He's fought some pretty tough fighters.
He really has. He has won 5 straight. He still has only 12 wins with 14 defeats, so he's kind of having a second career here. Ooh, big left hand by Whitley. Scores right on the chin of Pitt.
Right now, Pitt's fighting a lack of confidence problem. He's lost his last 6 fights. He's got to get into this one fast.
Kenny Singleton, while we have you here, I would think looking ahead to baseball next year, if you're an Oriole fan, you got one team you got to beat. You got more than one, but there's one on top of the heap.
Well, the Orioles made some good moves, getting some younger players and changing the chemistry of the team. I saw a lot more enthusiasm in their locker room the last weekend of the season when they swept the Yankees in Baltimore.
And if the Yankees do, in fact, add to their already strong arsenal.
Step back, step back.
Boy, talk about a dynasty. That is a true dynasty.
Yeah, the rumor has it that Mike Mussina is on his way to the Yankees, and that will make the Yankees even less popular here in Baltimore.
Yeah, and if they get Manny Ramirez, too.
Well,
why don't you ask them for some of that money, though, Kenny?
Well, George does have the money. He's going to make more. He knows that you have to spend it to make it.
They've done a great job. It's no longer the Bronx Zoo. I mean, that's it's perceived, at least, as the classiest and winningest team out there today.
And the mood in the locker room starts with their manager, Joe Torre. He's the best.
You see Joe Torre in the corner with the boxer, you know, 8 rounds in. He'd be the calming influence. You see Derrick Whitley not calm himself in the ring, really ripping away at Napoleon Pitt.
Well, Pitt's trying to box him from the outside with the long jab, but he's not using it enough.
He's really not punching. Kenny Singleton with us here at ringside. We're going to talk to Kenny when we return. Oh, wait a minute. Left hand, Pitt in trouble here at the end of the first round. Whitley laying it on heavy, and a late punch by Pitt to the back of the head. And a lot of emotion in the ring right now.
And that was a dirty shot because Whitley actually pulled his punch when he heard the bell right in the middle of it.
We're going to keep this right here.
Okay, I'll take care
Talk to Kenny Singleton a little bit. Kenny, any similarity between boxing and baseball? To me, I'm looking in there and I see the body, the movement at the hips, maybe some similarity there.
I think with any other sport outside of boxing, if you get in against a major league pitcher, you might have a chance of getting a hit. If you play in a basketball game against the pros, you might have a chance of making a basket. I mean, you might score a goal in hockey, but if you get in against one of these guys, you're not going to do anything.
That's right.
Kenny, you were a switch hitter, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Why don't we see as many switch hitters as we used to see?
Well, I think you see quite a few good ones now. You see somebody like Roberto Alomar. Maybe you don't see somebody of the style of one of my former teammates, Eddie Murray, who's on his way to the Hall of Fame. 3,000 hits, 500 home runs.
More of a power.
Switch hitters are more guys who are hitting left-handed so they can use their speed.
I love the way Kenny Singleton played baseball. I mean, you were always in control of the situation. You were unflappable.
Well, it was my job to get on base for Eddie Murray.
Ooh. Big left hand by Derrick Whitley. He had Pitt in trouble in the first round.
A lot of people forget, I think, Kenny can correct me, before he came to Baltimore, he had quite a career with the Montreal Expos. I mean, he was one of the best hitters in the National League for quite a while. How many years did you play up there?
I played in Montreal for 3 years, and that's a trade they don't talk much about in Montreal, that they traded me to Baltimore.
Who'd they get for you?
They got Dave McNally and Rich Coggins, and it was Mike Torres and myself that came to Baltimore. The year that I came to Baltimore, I hit 300, and Torres won 20 games. And McNally retired in the middle of the season from Montreal.
Not a bad move for the Orioles right now. Napoleon Pitt in a lot of trouble as Derrick Whitley turning up the heat.
Did you also play for the Angels?
No, I came up through the Mets organization. I was a hometown kid with the Mets. And then I got traded to Montreal in a Rusty Staub deal. And then I got traded here to Baltimore, which was the break of my career. I played here for 10 years. And with some great guys and on some excellent teams.
Those were the days.
They'll get it back. It's going to take a while, though.
Quick left hand by Whitley again as Napoleon Pitt just trying to survive right now.
Seems like he's able to get inside on him, even though the other guy has the reach.
The right eye of Napoleon Pitt is just swelling by the second.
That sucker swelling shut.
That is an ugly, ugly mouse. Actually, it's a rat. That's under his right eye. Look at that shot. Good shot by our cameraman there. Look at that.
That's from all those left hands by Whitley in the first round.
Ooh.
Round two, Ballroom Boxing here at Michael's 8th Avenue, brought to you by Toyota.
Well, now is Whitley just loading up, though, looking for that one punch to get him out? Why isn't he banging him to the body against the ropes?
I think the legs of Pitt are also going. I think Whitley's so confident right now. See Pitt just huffing and puffing. His eye is ugly, a mess. Good workmanlike performance by Derrick Whitley, as Pitt cannot score with that long reach advantage.
Well, Pitt doesn't have any legs right now, and Whitley would do well to start attacking the body.
Kenny Singleton, we will continue to watch you on Yankees TV, but when you play the Orioles, gotta hope you lose, buddy.
Well, you know, I could understand that, but the Yankees have been awfully tough the last few years, and I believe whatever they've lost over the last couple, they're going to try and get back this winter.
The Yankees are a scary team. Kenny, thank you very much.
My pleasure, Larry. John, thank you.
Kenny Singleton, one of the all-time great Baltimore Orioles, now a broadcaster for the New York Yankees, with us here at ringside. We'll be back with more in the ballroom in a moment. Napoleon Pitt survived the first round as Derrick Whitley laid the assault on. In round two, he closed his right eye and wobbled him on 2 other occasions. John Scheinman, I guess you have this big Whitley after 2.
Yeah, I got 2017 Whitley. Even I thought the last round Napoleon Pitt did absolutely nothing, and I gave it a 10-8 round for Whitley. At least he scored a few shots in the first round. You know, I think Bill Holmes the referee needs to take a very, very close look at this fight, because I think from my opinion, it looks like a mismatch, and they might want to stop the fight if Napoleon Pitt looks like he's starting to get hurt.
Napoleon Pitt has been beaten, as we say, knocked out his last 5 times. The last 2 going against Julian Lederloh and William Joppy. So Napoleon Pitt has been in against some very stiff competition.
He's also fought David Telesco, Robert McCracken. Been in there against a lot of guys.
Big left hand again by Derrick Whitley, who has dominated this action from the first round. Round 3, Ballroom Boxing, brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers.
I mean, right now, you'd think that Pitt is almost in a survival mode. He's trying to jab and move forward, but that eye is just about swelled shut. I don't know if he can even see a left hand coming now. I tell you what, he didn't see him very well when his eye was open.
This fight is scheduled for 6 rounds in the super middleweight division. Now Whitley slowing down a little bit. He has expended a lot of energy, John.
Yes, he has.
Big left hand. That was not a solid punch. He kind of caught Pitt slipping, but he did catch him. And that right eye, Jon Saraceno, I don't know how long they could allow him to go with that eye. I mean, it's about the size of a golf ball right now.
Whitley's still teeing off on it.
Yeah, he's shooting birdie. Birdie golf on his right eye. Oh man, that is really looking ugly. You can see Bill Holmes, the referee, has a look of concern on his face.
Well, Pitt just does not have the kind of shot to keep Whitley off. Still like to see Whitley move inside and go to the body a little bit more, slow Pitt down from moving around, because the guy's legs, I think, were gone in the first round.
Telling you, John, Bill Holmes is really looking at this. There he goes, he steps in. He wants the doctor to take a look at that right eye of Napoleon Pitt.
How's he going to be able to find it?
That's it. If he can see the fingers of the doctor, he's going to let it continue. And he does. The referee now.
Oh, he got it. Maybe.
Another doctor comes in, and he just wants to make his way across the ring. Maybe he wanted to reposition himself.
I think he wanted camera time.
No, that's our favorite doc. Don't give him a hard time now. Big left hand again, and that thing is continuing to swell. Another left hand right on that eye. A right jab on the eye. Real good performance here by Derrick Whitley. He has turned his career around. He's fighting with supreme confidence. Just dominating the fight with Napoleon Pitt through 3 rounds. Action from the previous round, round 3. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. This is the knockdown. You'll see not a very solid punch by Derrick Whitley, but it counts as a knockdown.
He's pity-patting with the jab, then to throw the left hand.
Didn't land on his chin, really caught him off balance, and in fact maybe should not have been counted as a knockdown, but Pitt's legs are a little wobbly. I'll tell you somebody whose legs aren't wobbly, John Scheinman. What'd you score through 3, John?
Thankfully I am sitting down, so you're right about that. 30-25, another 10-8 round for Derrick Whitley. And it looks like he's teeing off on him again. You know, I watched Napoleon Pitt a lot early in his career, Larry, and he was known as a power puncher. His right hand was his best weapon. So I think even though he doesn't look like he's got a lot going on here, I think he's still hoping for that one-punch knockout. And you can see him lining it up. You can see him trying to size up Whitley and time that shot.
He's really gasping, though, right now, John. He's really had a lot of steam taken out of him by the power punching of Derrick Whitley.
Well, he's fighting on pure guts right now. Let's face it. A lot of fighters by now would have packed it in.
No doubt about that. That is one of the ugliest swollen eyes I have ever seen. I've seen a few.
Starting to look like Gene Fulmer in there.
Derrick Whitley, though, really taking his time from a distance. And
now that eye is now, I think we could officially call it totally shut. I don't think he could see out of that at all.
John, in the corner, they really weren't working on it with the end swell. I think with the...
We don't even know if they brought the end swell device, right? A lot of corners.
Don't know, but it has been continually swelling.
Particularly at the club show level. Basics go out the window a lot of times.
Nice overhand right by Napoleon Pitt, glancing off the glove of Derrick Whitley.
Break, step back, no punches, step back.
We can emphasize what a gutty performance by Napoleon Pitt. I've got him behind 30-26. It's pretty clear he's going to need a knockout to win this fight. He's not going to win this by decision.
He is essentially a one-eyed fighter right now. The right eye swelling completely shut this round, progressively getting worse. Big right hand by Pitt. You got to give it to Pitt, though, for courage. He's still in there. Big, wild overhand right.
He's telegraphing all those big shots from the outside, and Whitley's a little too clever to get hit with those.
Pitt somehow finding the vision to duck a doctor coming up on the ring apron here.
I suspect we're going to see the end of this fight right now.
Looks like the doctor wants to take a look at the eye of Napoleon Pitt, and it would surprise me if they allowed this fight to continue. The doctor whispering to the ear of Napoleon Pitt.
I'd be shocked if he does not stop the fight. What is the point here? This kid has really no shot to win this fight, Pitt, and he could suffer serious permanent damage to the eye. Let's do the right thing here, guys.
Got two doctors in there taking a look. The eye is completely swollen shut.
I mean, what's the point?
Swollen inside of his eye, he's got to stop. Okay.
I don't care if he can see those fingers or not.
Crowd doesn't like it, but for the well-being of the fighter, this fight has been stopped, and appropriately so. Derrick Whitley wins again, this time by TKO, running his record to 13-14-0 with 6 knockouts, and he has now won 6 straight. Let's go to Pat O'Malley for the official time of the TKO by Darren Whitley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by TKO at 2:43 of round 4, Derrick Double Impact Whitley.
We'll be back with more after this. All right, so Derrick Whitley with a very convincing victory over Napoleon Pitt. Another win for Derrick Whitley. That is his 6th in a row, and he's standing by with Jon Scheinman.
Derrick, 6th straight win in your career now. Your record's 13-14. Are you looking forward to getting it up to 500 here next fight?
My goal is to get to 500 and take whatever else comes according to what my brother said, my manager, and just taking it one step at a time. Like I always say, every time I come back, it's get in, get out, and then go back and train again.
You know, you fought some of the toughest guys in the division, and now you've won 6 straight, but your record is really, I mean, let's face it, it's still kind of poor. Do you think there's a way that you could get yourself into the rankings despite the record?
Try to go for the Baltimore belt, and maybe that'll get me in the rankings when I win that. All this, I'm just saying, like I said, it's the year 2000, it's my new year, the millennium. Like I said, that's why I turn it over.
The year's almost over, though.
Hey, but I'm still winning. I ain't losing, I'm winning.
Derrick Whitley on a roll. Watch out. Let's go back to ringside, Larry and John.
Yeah, sure enough, Derrick Whitley is 6-1 in the year 2000. A big victory tonight here over Napoleon Pitt. We'll be back with more Ballroom Boxing in a minute. Don't go away. Back in the ballroom in Glen Burnie, Maryland, Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. Jimmy Lange getting set to take on Eddie Goins. And Jimmy Lange, a kid with a lot of potential, John, stepping up in class tonight.
Very good boxer. He's got to come back from that broken hand. He seems to be healed from it. Let's see what he's going to do.
Get the official introductions from our favorite ring announcer, Pat O'Malley.
This 6th-round bout is in the junior middleweight division. The referee in charge is Malik WALEED. The judges, Kenny Chevalier, Bill Holmes, and Don Risher. Introducing the boxers. First to my right, out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks, weighing 154.5 pounds, from Sanford, North Carolina, with a record of 15-15, 2 ties, draws, 12 by knockout. Please welcome Ed Boo Boo Goins. To my left, out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks, weighing 153 pounds. He is from Great Falls, Virginia, with a record of 12-1-1, 10 via the KO. He is Jimmy Lange.
Certainly a fan favorite here in the ballroom, Jimmy Lange, the dynamic Jimmy Lange. Let's go to Jon Saraceno for the matchup.
You see how tall Jimmy Lange is, a legitimate 6-footer. Eddie Goins only 5'7.5". Reach advantage to Jimmy Lange and a youth advantage decidedly to the kid from Great Falls, Virginia.
Well, it's taken us 6 years to get our host on mic, and I'm not going to let him get away without saying a word. Mike Wagner is with us here at ringside. Biggest crowd you ever had?
Obviously, Scott does a great job here. He does a great job. And I just asked a girl for a beer, and she brought me a non-alcoholic, and I think I've been cut off.
Of course, Ballroom Boxing brought to us by Budweiser, the king of beers. Great to have Mike Wagner with us here at ringside, even though he might not have the beverage of choice. But in the ring right now, Jimmy Lange. And Jimmy Lange, Mike Wagner, has become a fan favorite here in your ballroom.
He is obviously the most popular fellow that we've ever had fight in the ballroom, and we just love to see him come back.
Jimmy Lange's got the whole package, got the punching power, got the charisma, and he's taking on a very tough guy here in Eddie Goins, who's 15-15-2 with 12 knockouts. But Eddie Goins has been against some very tough people: Vernon Forrest, Fred Pendleton, Curtis Peoples, Daryl Coley, just to name 4.
Keep it clean, keep it clean.
Do you ever think this ballroom boxing extravaganza would get as big as it has gotten, Mike?
Never in my wildest dreams. I was ready to quit a lot of times, and my son kept egging me on.
Let's keep it clean, man. Let's keep it clean. Let's go.
Ballroom boxing has gone outside the friendly confines of Michael's 8th Avenue.
And they're taking my son with him.
Big right hand by Jimmy Lange has hurt Ed Goins. Jimmy Lange showing some early power here in the first round. Really working that jab, and Goins with a pretty stiff punch of his own.
Well, in the night, Mike, that we've had our biggest crowd here, I think we've had the best show we've ever seen at Michael's. A lot of them have been top-notch shows, but I think this one has really excelled.
John, coming from you, that's a real compliment. You've rated some of the shows that we thought were great 6s. Scott rated them 9.5s, and you rated them 6s.
I'm giving this one a 9.
I'll give you a 10. I guess he's holding out for something. I don't know what he's holding out for. Jimmy Lange and Ed Goins in the ring. Goins really covering up nicely. It's a stiff test for Jimmy Lange against a guy who's got some pretty good defensive skills. As they lock up, a little push by Jimmy Lange. Malik WALEED didn't like that.
He looked like the governor from Minnesota on that one.
Good body shot by Jimmy Lange.
Well, Goins is just playing defense right now and not doing it very well. A quick little hands, but you see the obvious height disparity, and that's Goins' real problem. How does he get on the inside of Jimmy Lange's jab to get off his shots?
Mike, I want to thank you for all the hospitality over the last 6 years. It's grown to, I'm just so happy that it's grown as much as it has for the promoters of Ballroom Boxing, you and your son Scott. Looking for 6 more strong years, Coach.
Well, I'll say this. We were so honored to have you guys come down here and help us get this thing off the ground. And, I'm surprised how long you stayed around, because you're both legitimate stars in your own right, and we're just happy to see you guys come back every fight.
But you are the leader of our foursome each and every time we go out. Thanks for everything. Mike Wagner.
Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Our host here at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. We'll be back with more Ballroom Boxing. Welcome back to the Ballroom here at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Ballroom Boxing. Round 2 underway. Jimmy Lange and Ed Goins. Round 2 brought to you by Toyota. Don't forget, check us out on the web, www.ballroomboxing.com. Jon Scheinman also along. How'd you score the first round, John?
Well, I gave it to Jimmy Lange 10-9 because of his work rate. He just kept on the attack the entire fight. But I'll tell you something about Goins. Well, I don't know what to tell you about that, Larry, but I'll say this. He is very accurate with his punching. He has hit Lange every time he's thrown punches, and he's got 12 knockouts on his slate. This could be a real corker if they get down to business.
Goins has funny little movements, old-style movements, Archie Moore-type movements, the way he comes in, the way he defends himself, real weird, unorthodox angles he throws punches from. This is not necessarily an easy fight in any.
Very good fight for Jimmy Lange at this stage in his career. Jimmy Lange working Goins in a corner.
See, that's what Goins does. He goes into that crab-like shell and suddenly pops out. Got a very quick left hand.
Good body shot by Jimmy Lange, and he gets Goins onto a knee.
Uppercut. I think it was a short little uppercut on the inside. Looked like it hit him on the eye. Goins dabbing at that left eye.
He is up and he is hurt. That left eye is swelling quickly.
Yep.
It was a clipping shot. I think the knuckles of Jimmy Lange really caught him right on that eyelid. And this fight is over. Jimmy Lange with the second round TKO of Ed Goins. Ed Goins cannot continue because of the damage to the left eye, and Jimmy Lange is victorious. Good performance by Jimmy Lange, taking Ed Goins out in 2. So Jimmy Lange's success continues. Just wonder what is in the future for this fine young athlete from Great Falls, Virginia.
In case you don't know about Great Falls, Virginia, it is considered a very ritzy area. There's not a lot of professional boxers that come out of Great Falls, Virginia.
Pepe Correa in his corner, as always. Jimmy Lange with the win tonight. Let's go to our ring announcer, Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice job. Thank you.
The winner by TKO at 140 of round 2, Jimmy Lange.
We'll be back with more Ballroom Boxing in a moment. So second round TKO by Jimmy Lange, doing what he had to do.
Yep, you got him out of there. Whether Goins quit or not, he got hit on the eye, fight's over.
Let's go to Jon Scheinman, standing by with the winner, Jimmy Lange.
Second round stoppage here. The fight was, I thought it was a pretty good fight in the first round. Is this a satisfactory win for you? I mean, obviously a TKO is a good thing, but did you want more work here?
They're all, any win is satisfactory, believe me. Wins are hard to come by, and that's satisfactory. But I hit him with a good, he was coming pretty hard. He was throwing real hard punches, and I started to work his body. I caught him with a real good uppercut there, and he just didn't want to continue. So
what, I mean, did it glance on his eye? What happened there?
I think his eye was pretty swollen, but, you know, what can I say?
How do you feel about turning out a crowd this size at the Ballroom? I mean, you're such a fan favorite here. This is a record crowd here.
It's great. You know, you put a good product in the ring, people are going to come out to see you. You know, that's what I try to do every fight.
How do you feel about the progress of your career right now, Jimmy? What do you think is in the future?
Well, of course, you know, you can't be happy. You know, you got to go, as soon as you win, you got to go sharpen your knives. But
with Pepe right over here, Pepe Correa is
yeah, and you know, I want to keep winning. You know, I can't think about what just happened because that's in the past already. So, get back in the gym and look for the next one.
Jimmy Lange taking it any way he can get it, and he gets it by second round TKO.
Check us out on the web, www.ballroomboxing.com. We'll be back with more after this. Time for one of our feature bouts, unbeaten Jermaine Fields in the ring. Now, Jermaine Fields coming off a big victory over Julian Wheeler in August. He is knocking on the door of a top 10 ranking. Jon Saraceno, how good can he be?
He could be a champion, but they got to make sure they fight the title fight at the right time and not prematurely. And we're going to see if they're going to make the right decision soon.
Jermaine Fields, a southpaw from the Duva Boxing Camp. Let's go to the official introductions from Pat O'Malley.
The Maryland State Athletic Commission Chairman Carlin Milligan Jr., Executive Director Patrick Pinella, and Ballroom Boxing on Michael's 8th Avenue, Glen Burnie, Maryland. Promoters Scott Wagner and matchmaker Josh Hall present this 8-round bout in the junior lightweight division. The referee in charge is Kenny Chevalier. The judges, Bill Holmes, Don Risher, and Malik WALEED. Introducing the boxers. First to my right, out of the blue corner, wearing the red trunks, weighing 133 pounds. He trains in Orange, California, and resides in Yucatan, Mexico. He has a record of 29, 22, and 3, 21 via the KO. Please welcome Luis, the Golden Boy Lizarraga. Out of the red corner, wearing the orange trunks, weighing 129.5 pounds, from Washington, D.C., with a record of 21-0-1, 16 via the KO. He is one of the Fighting Fields brothers. This is Jermaine Fields.
Lizarraga in the ring. Jon Saraceno, take a look at that matchup.
Well, for once, Jermaine Fields is not the smaller fighter. Lizarraga only 5'7.5".
It's no good. Everything's fine.
You see the reach and the height differentials, same age. Let's get it on.
Want to welcome ringside Willie Guthrey, former world champion in the light heavyweight division, I believe, correct?
That's right.
Also in the promotions business. Good to have you here, William.
Thanks a lot. Good to be here.
What's going on in your life right now? Just coming off a successful promotion yourself. You're boxing and promoting now, huh?
Boxing and promoting.
What do you like better, buddy?
Promoting.
You're not avoiding any lefts or rights when you're a promoter, or are you?
That's right. Well, not those kind of lefts, man.
That's right. In the ring right now, Jermaine Fields and Willie Guthrey. I want to get your opinion on this young kid. He is unbeaten. Of course, he is in the Duva boxing camp. And right now, a lot of big things. They're talking some serious matchups with him. Does he have the future as a world champion?
I think so. I've been watching Jermaine Fields for quite some time. I believe he fought on a couple of undercards of mine. He's a pretty exciting kid to watch. He's really technical. He's clean. He's sharp. Right to the point. He doesn't waste a lot.
Good
I like
amateur
him.
background.
Pretty good amateur background. That's always important. Pretty good.
William, what was your toughest fight ever?
My next one.
Good right hand by Jermaine Fields. Larry Michael, Jon Saraceno ringside with former world champion Willie Guthrey. William, as your career winds down, do you miss it at all?
No.
Come on, let him go, let him go.
I do. It's exciting, but hey, you have to be willing to make a change.
That's right. I guess you wake up in the morning and maybe not as sore as you used to be.
Exactly. 26-2 with 21 knockouts. Not a lot of complaints. A couple.
Won a world championship?
That's right, world championship.
Big right hand there by Lizarraga. Over the left of Jermaine Fields. Good body shot by Jermaine Fields. Fighting the southpaw is difficult.
And you see how slick Jermaine Fields is. That's his forte.
Yeah, pretty slick.
Slick punching southpaw from Washington, D.C., Jermaine Fields. Last time out, as we mentioned, fighting the veteran Julian Wheeler.
Easy, let him out, break.
Former Olympian in his own right, Jermaine Fields was an Olympic alternate in '96.
What a fight Fields had here in September, Larry, that we called against Awal Abdullahi, winning a majority draw. Didn't really come in with a winning attitude that night. Thought he was just going to walk through Abdullahi. Turned out to be a much more difficult fight. He says he learned a lesson from it.
He appears to be pretty sharp. He's picking good body shots and taking his time.
Told me he's been training real strong over the last few weeks, getting ready for this bout. So he's in good shape. There's been mention of him maybe challenging Acelino Freitas, who's the WBO champion at 130 pounds. I don't know if he's quite ready for that yet, but if they start talking about those kind of matchups, maybe that'll happen down the road.
He just took 3 good shots, 2 left hooks and the right hand.
Willie Guthrey, former world champion, with us at ringside. Ballroom Boxing here at Michael's 8th Avenue. We'll be back. We're at ringside, Larry Michael, Jon Saraceno, and former light heavyweight world champion Willie Guthrey, who has moved on to promoting, and we're going to try to see if we can talk him out of retirement. As the light heavyweight division really has been ruled by one man recently.
Hey, pretty good fighter, great fighter, Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, what do you think of him? Do you think he is one of the great light heavyweights of all time?
I don't know that I'd say that. I think he is a great light heavyweight champion of all time. It's kind of hard.
It's
you know,
tough.
if you look back, a lot of the champions from the past, they had a lot of good fighters. During the time, they fought everybody.
Right.
You know, you can't say you're the best until you fight everybody that's available to you.
And Roy Jones hasn't fought everybody, has he?
Well, he's fought everybody that's been available to him. The problem is nobody's at his talent level, and in the meantime, Roy's gotten very bored, and I think his natural ability and skill level really was never tested, and that's a shame. I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard had the same kind of ability, but Leonard had guys like Darren and Hagler and Hearns, you know, that he could show his skills off.
Big body shot by Jermaine Fields. Seems to me here, William, that Jermaine Fields is turning up the power a little bit.
Yeah, he's starting to cut loose here a little bit. He's starting to pick it up, and also the other guys are pretty good.
Got a good chin.
He's got a really good chin, and he didn't come here and lay down. He's trying to win the fight too.
Luis Lizarraga has not had it easy of late. In fact, he's lost quite a few fights. Lost his last 9 fights. Yeah. Last time out, though, lost to Cesar Bazan, who is a highly rated fighter.
So he has a lot of ring generalship, a lot of know-how, a lot of experience. And having a lot of losses doesn't necessarily count you out. These fighters are good fighters. Just overmatched sometimes.
Yep.
Or matched against great fighters when they're not in shape.
Incorrectly matched.
Huge left hand by Jermaine Fields, and Lizarraga just goes right through it.
Right through it. He hasn't fell yet. He's still coming forward.
Well, you're from St. Louis, aren't you?
St. Louis, Missouri. The Rams.
Speaking of, I was actually going a different direction. Light heavyweights. Michael Spinks against Roy Jones in their prime. That would have been a hell of a fight.
Good fight. Good fight.
Great fight.
Great fight.
William, want to thank you for stopping by. We very much appreciate it. Good luck in your career as a promoter.
I've had a wonderful time.
Maybe we'll see you in the ring, man.
Well, hey, listen. If things don't go right, maybe I'll take my suit off and go in the ring.
Yeah, matter of dollars and cents, I guess, right?
Matter of dollars and cents.
It's not enough dollars, don't make no sense.
That's right.
I cannot take credit for that line.
You didn't know Larry was from St. Louis either, did you?
I didn't know that. I didn't know. He talks like a St. Louis.
Oh, man. William Guthrey, former world champion.
As you can tell, he's from East St. Louis.
He's from East St. Louis.
See, I've been listening to Nelly, okay? You know Nelly? Am I right?
Yeah, you know Nelly.
I know Nelly. You're shocked by that, aren't you?
I'm shocked, man. I'm shocked.
William Guthrey, want to thank him for stopping by.
You,
we'll be back with more Ballroom Boxing. Okay. That's it. You got your beat. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing, seen on HTS in the Mid-Atlantic. I mean, we're seeing coast to coast, Jon Saraceno. This is bigger than anything.
Bigger than rap music, I guess, because you knew Nelly.
I know Nelly, yes.
Start calling you Cool Mo Larry.
That's fine. Give me a nickname. I'll rap for you. Right now, it's Jermaine Fields rapping on the face of Luis Lizarraga. Round 3 here in the Ballroom, brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. And a reminder, don't forget our next Ballroom Boxing show here at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. January 25th is the date. Circle it. For information on tickets, call 410-766-7474 or 1-888-950-2128. Excuse me, 2188. Or check us out on the web, www.ballroomboxing.com. Let's bring in Jon Scheinman now as we let William Guthrey head on off to the crowd to enjoy himself here at Michael's. Jon, how do you have this fight scored?
20-18 on the 10-point must system for Jermaine Fields. I'll tell you, he's razor sharp tonight, Larry. He's got the right jab going. He's controlling Lizarraga with it. He's throwing in some right uppercuts. He's left uppercuts. He's propping Lizarraga on the ropes with his right shoulder, which is one of my favorite sneaky moves in the game. He does it beautifully. The one thing I'll say for Lizarraga is that he's able at times to get inside of Jermaine Fields' rhythm, and he counter punches effectively. And as we saw in the Abdullah fight, Jermaine is still susceptible to counter punches, but overall he's dominating the fight.
Jermaine Fields this year has fought 3 times, and the one draw with Abdullah really had a profound effect on him, according to his manager, Kelly Swanson.
Well, it knocked some sense into him. He almost had his first loss And would have been a tremendous setback to lose to Abdullah here. And he really came back and get strong against Julian Wheeler on ESPN cable. And he's taking his career a little more seriously right now.
Tell you what, though, his opponent tonight has a chin made of granite, Luis Lizarraga.
Well, Mexican fighters known for their stout beards.
And tough chins. You are one to know about a stout beard, my friend. Is that what you were talking about? No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One of the Smith brothers in disguise.
Jermaine Fields firing off the ropes. Lizarraga right there.
Yeah, Lizarraga's not going anywhere, and Fields knows it. Lizarraga wearing down a little bit here.
Ballroom Boxing brought to you by 0 to 80. We're at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. Ballroom Boxing brought to you by Geico Auto Insurance. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. In the ring right now, Jermaine Fields.
With those electric orange shorts and those shoes. Turn out the lights.
That is his style.
A flashy guy.
Jermaine Fields with a fine amateur background. Lizarraga from Mexico, John, is a survivor. Been against a lot of tough competition. Last time out, Cesar Bazan dispatched Lizarraga in the 4th round by TKO. Let's see if Jermaine Fields can match that.
Good left hand by Fields, right on the chin.
Lizarraga goes down.
But he's complaining low blow. Let's see what Kenny Chevalier does. Looks like he's going to give Lizarraga some extra time, acknowledging the low blow, which, I don't know, intentional, unintentional?
I have to be honest with you, I didn't see it.
Well, Lizarraga felt it. Either that or he's just spit the bit.
Spit the mouthpiece, the doctor's there, Kenny Chevalier. Now the doctor coming into the ring.
I think he's okay. Right in the pelotas.
Let me tell him something. You got 5
Thought it was the
minutes,
huevos.
okay?
As they say, south of the border.
If you don't, it's over.
Now Kenny's telling him, if you don't get up, the fight is going to be called, and you're going to be on your knees, the loser. I say he gets up.
Did not see the punch. But certainly Lizarraga is either looking for an Academy Award
or looking for a way out, or both.
Talking to the doctor, and as we know, there is certainly plenty of protection south of the border.
Yeah, and that's by Maryland rules. 5 minutes if he needs it.
See what Kenny Chevalier has to say in there. Oh, we missed him. Kenny Chevalier, one of the best refs in all the world. Let's take a look and see if we can find that punch.
Look for the right hand. There it was, Larry.
Might have gotten him right under the belt.
Well, let's see if Lizarraga tries to retaliate.
His corner giving him instructions. I want to make no judgment on whether he is as hurt as he says he is.
No way to know, really.
Don't walk around.
Really would be unfair to do that.
Amigo.
Though this is one of the lengthier stoppages we've seen with the low blow.
No, walk over there. Walk around.
Chevalier, no-nonsense referee. Lizarraga getting a little annoyed with him there when it appeared that Chevalier was trying to speed up the process, but Kenny's really giving him as much time as he needs.
Yep.
Look,
as required by the rules.
First warning, okay?
He's warning Jermaine Fields. There's another look. And finally, we are back underway.
Well, for a guy who looks so hurt, he's moving around awful quickly in the ring, Larry.
Big right hand by Lizarraga has Jermaine Fields stunned. He stunned him. Fields is hurt. His glove touches the ground. And let's see what happens here.
What a turn of events. Lizarraga getting pasted the first 3 rounds. Standing 8 count.
No question he tagged Jermaine Fields, John.
Jermaine was stunned on his feet, wobbled forward. Let's see if Lizarraga can finish it. I don't think he's going to be able to.
Big right hand by Fields. Lizarraga really throwing everything he has right now.
And Jermaine Fields, his sense is clear because he's fighting back. He's not holding or trying to run or move.
Oh, Fields is hurt and he is down.
His head hit the canvas, Larry. Can he get up?
Goodness gracious, let's see if he can. Jermaine Fields to a knee.
What guts by
He's
Jermaine?
Struggling. He is up. This fight is over. A shocking end to the unbeaten record of Jermaine Fields as Luis Lizarraga takes him out by knockout.
Referee Kenny Chevalier showed a lot of guts there with the hometown fighter Jermaine Fields from Washington, D.C., the metro area, stopping that fight. A lot of referees would allow that fight to continue. He looked into the eyes of Jermaine Fields, saw that Fields was not there.
Fields says he is okay, but on the inside he's got to be hurting because his unbeaten record and his shot at a top 10 ranking has just gone down the tubes.
Jermaine Fields, the macho, got the better of Mr. Fields on that one. He had his cookies handed to him. What happened there was Fields really should have just been holding on, trying to get through the round. He got awful frisky after getting hurt with the first knockdown. Got up, tried to be macho, fight back. He got caught, could not recover from the second shot. A stunning upset, particularly after that long delay when Lizarraga got hit below the belt. Now you gotta wonder, was Lizarraga playing possum at all? Trying to draw Jermaine Fields in, thinking he was still hurt.
You never know, Lizarraga had lost 9 straight coming into this fight. Jermaine Fields a record of 21-0-1. And for the first time in his career, Jermaine Fields has lost a fight. Now, you know, John, in looking at the way that fight ended, you are absolutely right. He didn't need to be in there battling on the inside with Lizarraga, especially after he had been hurt earlier in the round.
He also got careless, trying to throw combination punches, throwing very wide, totally throwing his defense out the window. And that's really what Jermaine Fields is. He's a slick fighter who gets by on his speed and quickness and defensive abilities and not getting hit. And I watch here how wide his hands are.
Uppercut hurt him, and the last shot hurt him as well. And that's a tough ending to the night for Jermaine Fields, and a Cinderella comeback by Luis Lizarraga. You never know what's going to happen in the ballroom. Let's get the official word from Pat O'Malley.
Attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by knockout at 2:05 of round 4, his first time here at Michael's 8th Avenue, Luis the Golden Boy Lizarraga.
Wow. Controversial ending. Actually, in that final round, we had a little bit of everything. A stoppage because of a low blow by Jermaine Fields, giving Lizarraga an opportunity to regroup and get his strength back. And at the conclusion of the stoppage, John, for the low blow, Lizarraga came out, hurt Jermaine Fields. Jermaine Fields came right back in his face. Maybe the wrong strategy by Jermaine.
Well, we're going to see this again, hopefully later at some point. What happened to Jermaine Fields really becoming undone after that first knockdown. Fields does not have a lot of experience coming back from a situation like that. I think he got a little bit panicked, wanted to show the Mexican fighter he could fight just as tough as he could. Made a mistake by going toe-to-toe, opening up his defense, really, and inviting Lizarraga just to throw that big right hand and sweeping left hook. It was the left hook that really did in Jermaine Fields.
Jermaine Fields flat on his back. And when he got up, Kenny Chevalier looked in his eyes and said, son, I'm going to stop this fight.
And really, there should be no controversy in this fight because Kenny Chevalier did the right thing. Jermaine Fields, I don't think he realized he was in Maryland at the time he got up. The fight had to be stopped. I think Jermaine Fields could have really been seriously hurt because Lizarraga was just going to jump on him and finish him.
Fields did a remarkable job just to get to his feet. He was extraordinarily wobbly, and that was it. The end of the line for Jermaine Fields in terms of an unbeaten record, and it's back to the drawing board for him. We'll be back with more ballroom boxing in a moment. Shocking ending to a fight, and Jermaine Fields loses for the first time. Jon Saraceno, is this the biggest upset we've ever seen in the ballroom?
I was just thinking that, trying to go back over the 23 shows we've done here in Maryland, and I think it is. I mean, you have a fighter who is in title contention in his weight division, suddenly wiped out, stunningly, a fight that he was winning clearly, and you know, the guy's career at this point in serious trouble. Now, you can come back from a loss like this, but psychologically, a lot of damage done to Jermaine Fields. 2 fights ago, don't forget, right here at Michael's 8th Avenue.
Right.
He just barely got by.
So it's soul-searching time for Jermaine Fields. For Luis Lizarraga, it's time to celebrate. He's standing by with John Scheinman.
Luis, you had lost 9 straight fights to world-class opposition. With this win, is this the biggest victory of your career?
Dice que si esta pelea es la pelea más grande de tu carrera porque le ganaste a uno bueno.
Bueno, pues en realidad no estaba yo en óptimas condiciones porque además de que fue de un día para otro que me escogieron para esta pelea, desgraciadamente ayer me enfermé, tenía yo temperatura, mucho fluido nasal.
Okay.
Y
yo le digo. He say he not was ready for this fight, for this kind of man, you know. But you know, in Mexico he need money, and we took the fight. No, and he's from Mérida, Yucatan. He's very hot over there, you know. The weather is changed. We don't bring jacket with us, and we have to go buy jacket. And he was very sick last night. He had a fever, and really, I took to buy some medicine for the cold, and he was, you know, the rest you see on the TV.
Well, this is one of the upsets of the year in boxing. Luis Lizarraga stops Jermaine Fields here in the ballroom. Let's go back to ringside to Larry and John.
I'll tell you what, if he had a fever last night, he must really want to be hot because he was dynamic. Luis Lizarraga, coming off a fever, pulls the upset of the series here in the ballroom.
For a minute, I thought you were going to say upset of the century, but for the ballroom boxing series, it's definitely the biggest upset we've seen. A shocking defeat for Jermaine Fields. Lou Duva's not going to be happy tonight.
No, Jermaine Fields falls for the first time in his career. More ballroom boxing coming up. Don't go away. Ballroom boxing is brought to you by Toyota every day, by Budweiser, the king of beers, by Geico. 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. By LastMinuteTravel.com, by 0to80.com, and by WhatANetwork.com. Wrapping things up for the ballroom, Larry Michael and Jon Saraceno. John, the fans here, the biggest crowd ever in the ballroom boxing history here at Michael's 8th Avenue. The fans certainly did not go home disappointed.
I think they were treated to the best show we've ever seen at Michael's in 6 years. And certainly the stunning upset loss by Jermaine Fields, his first as a pro. Devastating setback for the young fighter. He's got to see if he can rebound.
It's never predictable, always exciting ballroom boxing. For Jon Saraceno and John Scheinman, I'm Larry Michael. We'll check you next time for Ballroom Boxing.